Chosen one, listen to the sound of my voice. If you have found this message, understand that it is not by chance, not by algorithm, but by divine appointment. There is a frequency that has guided you here, a soul contract you are about to fulfill. I need you to listen with every fiber of your being, because today is the last day. The energetic window that has been open is now closing, and after the final stroke of midnight that ushers in the end of this pivotal month of September, there will be no more second chances. What is done will be done, and what is left undone will remain a ghost in the corridors of your potential. If you ignore this video, if you click away because it feels too intense or demands too much of you, I promise you, with every ounce of certainty in my spirit, you will regret it for years to come. You will look back at this moment, at this crossroads, and wonder what could have been had you only listened. This is not a threat, it is a cosmic guarantee. The universe has been patient, it has been sending you whispers, nudges, and signs. But the time for whispers is over, now it roars. For months you have felt it, haven't you? A deep, unsettling feeling that something monumental is on the horizon, a sense of urgency that you can't quite place, a feeling of being on the precipice of a great change, but also the terrifying possibility of a great fall. This feeling is real. It is the energetic pressure of a collective timeline split. We are at a bifurcation point, a moment where humanity is choosing its future, and you, as a chosen one, a light bearer, are at the forefront of this shift. But with great purpose comes great tests, and the universe, in its infinite wisdom, does not simply hand you your destiny on a silver platter. It tests your resolve, your clarity, and your worthiness, and it does so through a series of masterfully crafted spiritual traps. These are not obvious pitfalls. They are insidious, disguised as wisdom, as healing, as spirituality itself. They are the final exams of this era, designed to catch the unawakened, the complacent, and the spiritually arrogant. There are 7 of them, and this month of September is your final opportunity to recognize them, dismantle them, and step onto the timeline that was always meant for you. Fail to do so, and you risk being locked into a loop of struggle, confusion, and what-ifs, a reality that will feel like a pale imitation of the life your soul came here to live. The common belief, the one that has been spread through diluted spiritual teachings, is that if you just meditate, think positive thoughts, and trust the universe, everything will magically fall into place. This is a comforting lie. It is the spiritual equivalent of a lullaby sung to keep you asleep. The truth, the contrarian and raw truth, is that the universe is not just your benevolent friend right now, it is your divine drill sergeant. It is testing your sovereignty. It wants to see if you will stand up and claim your power, or if you will remain a passive recipient of circumstance. These traps are designed to look and feel like the right path. They prey on your good intentions, your desire for healing, and your faith. But they all lead to the same destination, energetic stagnation, and in this accelerated timeline, stagnation is the equivalent of spiritual death. So before we dive into the very first, and perhaps most common trap, I need you to do one thing. Take a deep, conscious breath. Inhale the truth of this moment. Exhale all skepticism. You are here for a reason. Let's not waste another second. The first spiritual trap is the trap of passive waiting, disguised as divine timing. This is the most widespread and seductive trap of all, because it feels so righteous, so faithful. You tell yourself, I'm trusting in divine timing. When the time is right, the universe will bring it to me, or I'm waiting for a clear sign. On the surface, this sounds like the pinnacle of spiritual surrender, but for most, it is a catastrophic illusion. It is spiritual procrastination cloaked in the holy robes of patience. True divine timing is not a passive state of waiting for life to happen to you. It is the sacred intersection where your inspired action meets divine opportunity. You must walk to the door for the universe to open it. But this trap convinces you to sit on the couch and wait for the door, the frame, and the entire house to be delivered to your feet. It is a subtle abdication of your creative power, a signal to the cosmos that you are not yet ready to be a co-creator of your reality. You are still in the childlike phase of wanting the divine parent to do everything for you. Think about it in your own life right now. Where are you passively waiting? Are you waiting for your finances to magically improve before you start that business your soul is screaming for you to build? Are you waiting for a soulmate to find you while you hide your heart away, making no real effort to become the person who can sustain such a connection? Are you waiting for a bolt of lightning from the heavens to tell you what your purpose is, while ignoring the quiet, persistent nudges to write, to create, to speak, to heal? This is the trap in action. It keeps you in a state of perpetual almost. You are almost ready, the time is almost right, the sign is almost here, and almost is the graveyard, where destinies go to die. The energy of this month, this final window, is demanding action. It is a potent, fiery energy that rewards movement and punishes inertia. To be sitting still right now, waiting for a sign, is like standing on a train track waiting for permission to move while the express train of destiny is hurtling towards you. The sign is the train. The urgency you feel is the sign. The fact that you are watching this video is the sign. There will be no clearer invitation. The universe is screaming, act now, move, take one step, any step, and I will pave the ground before you. But you have to take that first step in the dark, fueled by faith, not by certainty. This trap convinces you to wait for the floodlights to come on, but the floodlights only activate through the motion of your first step. It's a test of cause and effect, and you are being tested on whether you understand that you are the cause. If you are ready to break free from the paralysis of passive waiting and step into your sovereign power as a divine co-creator, I want you to pause right now and comment below, I am the action. Let this be a declaration to yourself and to the universe. Let it be an energetic anchor that solidifies your choice to move from waiting to creating. Type it now, I am the action. Feel the power in those words. This is you taking back the pen and beginning to write the next chapter, not waiting for it to be written for you. To truly dismantle this trap, you must understand its deeper, more insidious nature. It is a trap of the ego. The ego loves the idea of divine timing because it absolves it of all responsibility. If things don't work out, the ego can say, well, it just wasn't divine timing. It's a perfect excuse for failure, a perfect justification for not taking risks. It also allows the ego to feel special without doing the work. The ego loves to believe, I am so important, the universe is arranging everything perfectly for me, and I don't have to lift a finger. This is a profound misunderstanding of your role as a chosen one. You are not chosen to be pampered. You are chosen to be a warrior of light, an architect of the new earth. Architects don't wait for bricks to assemble themselves. They draw the plans, they lay the foundation, they build, brick by painful, glorious brick. The universe provides the materials, the inspiration, and the unseen support, but you must be the builder. The antidote to this trap is therefore sacred, inspired action. This is not the same as frantic, ego-driven hustling. It is not about burning yourself out. It is about attuning your inner ear to the subtle guidance of your intuition and acting on it immediately and without question. Inspired action often feels illogical. It feels small. It's the sudden urge to call an old friend. It's the impulse to drive down a different street. It's the nagging feeling to write down a business idea at 3 a.m. It's the quiet voice that says, sign up for that class, or clean out that closet. These are the divine breadcrumbs. These are the threads of divine timing that the universe is offering you. Your job is not to wait for the whole tapestry to be revealed. Your job is to pull on the one thread that is in front of you, right now. When you act on these small intuitive nudges, you demonstrate to the universe that you are listening, that you are a trustworthy partner in creation. And in return, the universe sends you bigger nudges, bigger opportunities, and bigger signs. But if you ignore the small nudges, while you wait for the grand sign, the universe goes silent. It concludes that you are not ready, that you are not serious about your mission, and it will divert those opportunities to someone who is. This is not a punishment. It is simply the law of energetic reciprocity. The universe is a dance, and it needs a dance partner. It cannot dance alone. This month you are being asked, in no uncertain terms, to get on the dance floor. The song is already playing. Can you hear it? Let's make this practical. For the next 24 hours, I want you to adopt the mantra, what is the very next smallest step I can take? Not the giant leap, not the 5-year plan, the smallest, most immediate step. If your dream is to write a book, the step isn't write a book, it's open a document and write one sentence. If your dream is to find a new job, the step isn't get my dream job, it's spend 5 minutes updating one line on my resume. If your dream is to heal a relationship, the step isn't have a perfect resolution, it's write down one thing I appreciate about that person. These tiny acts of movement shatter the illusion of passive waiting. They are declarations of intent, they send ripples into the quantum field, signaling that you are no longer waiting for reality to change, but are actively participating in its change. The grand cosmic shifts we are all waiting for are not going to happen to you. They are going to happen through you, through the sum total of these small, sacred, inspired actions. Do not let this final window close on you while you are still waiting for permission to begin. You are the one you've been waiting for. Your action is the permission. Now, as you begin to integrate this and step into your power as a creator, you must be incredibly vigilant. Because as you overcome this first trap, you will immediately be confronted by the second, which is even more subtle, and in many ways more dangerous. It is a trap that masquerades as the very essence of healing and self-love, but in reality, it is a gilded cage that can keep you locked in the pain of your past indefinitely, ensuring you are too wounded and distracted to ever fulfill your future mission. It preys on your desire to be whole, but it twists the process of healing into an endless cycle of self-obsession. Before I reveal what this second trap is, I want you to truly let the reality of the first trap sink in. See it in your life. See where you have given your power away to the illusion of waiting. Forgive yourself for it, and then make a new choice. A choice for action, because you will need all of your strength and all of your clarity to face what comes next. The path of the chosen one is not for the faint of heart. It is a razor's edge, and these traps are the winds that seek to blow you off balance. But you are still standing, you are still listening, and that means there is still time. But the clock, as you now know, is ticking faster than ever. You are still here. I feel your energy, your commitment. You have made the declaration, I am the action, and in doing so, you have sent a shockwave through the quantum field. You have officially served notice to the universe that you are no longer available for the trap of passive waiting. A door has closed behind you, and a new path is beginning to illuminate before you. But as I warned, with every step forward on this razor's edge, a new, more sophisticated challenge presents itself. As you begin to move, to act, to build momentum, the forces of stagnation will not simply give up. They will present you with their next line of defense, a trap so cunningly disguised as virtue that millions of lightworkers are currently lost within its labyrinthine walls, believing they are on the path of enlightenment when they are, in fact, walking in circles. This next trap is a gilded cage, beautiful on the outside, adorned with the language of therapy, self-love, and emotional intelligence. But its bars are forged from the very pain it claims to be healing, and it is designed to keep you so focused on your wounds that you forget you were ever born to fly. It is a spiritual quicksand that pulls you under, all while whispering sweet affirmations in your ear. The second spiritual trap, the one you must dismantle before this month's final gate closes, is the trap of endless healing, disguised as self-love. Listen to me very carefully. Your healing journey is sacred. Your trauma is valid. The process of tending to your inner wounds is a holy act. But the adversary is clever. It knows it cannot stop you from seeking healing, so instead, it seeks to turn the process of healing into your permanent identity. It convinces you that you are a person who is healing, rather than a divine being who has experienced challenges. It subtly shifts your focus from the goal of becoming whole to the endless process of examining your broken pieces. This trap tells you, I cannot start my mission until I am fully healed. I cannot attract my divine partner until I resolve all my childhood trauma. I cannot step into abundance until I clear every last one of my ancestral money blocks. It sounds so responsible, doesn't it? So self-aware. It feels like the ultimate act of self-love, to put your life on hold until you are ready, until you are perfectly whole. But this is the lie. This is the master illusion. Ready is a finish line that this trap ensures you will never cross. This trap turns your past into a perpetual present. It encourages you to become a connoisseur of your own pain. You might find yourself in therapy for a decade, talking about the same stories, reliving the same emotions, with no tangible change in your external reality. You might binge-watch videos about narcissistic abuse or attachment theory, not for empowerment, but for a strange sense of validation in your woundedness. Your identity becomes inextricably linked to what was done to you. The archetype of the wounded healer loses its second word, and you become simply the wounded. You are no longer a healer who has overcome wounds. You are a wound that is perpetually open. This is a state of profound energetic hemorrhage. All of your life force, all of your creative energy, which is meant to be building the new earth, is instead diverted backwards in time, used to endlessly power the psychic machinery that replays your traumas on a loop. You are using the divine fuel of your future to keep the engine of your past running, and the universe watches, waiting, as your mission, the very reason your soul incarnated in this critical moment, sits on a shelf, collecting dust, while you perform yet another round of spiritual archaeology on your own psyche. The most insidious part of this trap is that it feels productive. It feels like you are doing the work. But I ask you, look at your life with radical honesty. Has this work led to more freedom, more joy, more creation, more impact? Or has it led to more analysis, more introspection, more reasons why you aren't ready? Are you healing to live, or are you living to heal? There is a universe of difference between those two realities. The first is a process of integration and forward momentum. The second is a prison of self-obsession. This month, the energy is asking you to make a choice. The great cosmic shift does not require a legion of perfectly healed, flawless beings. It requires a legion of courageous, integrated warriors who have learned to wield their scars as weapons of wisdom and compassion. Your wounds are not a liability. They are your credentials. They are the source of your unique medicine. The world does not need you to spend another 5 years in a cave analyzing your pain. The world needs your medicine now. It needs the wisdom you gleaned from the dark, the compassion you forged in the fire, the strength you built by surviving. To withhold that medicine from a dying world because you feel you are not healed enough is the ultimate tragedy. It is a failure to understand the very purpose of your suffering. If you feel a resonance with this, if you recognize that you have been caught in the loop of endless healing, I want you to make a new declaration. This is a powerful prayer of reclamation. Go to the comments and type with conviction, "My scars are my superpowers." Do it now. Declare that your past no longer defines you, but now empowers you. This is not about denying your pain. It is about graduating from it. It is about honoring it for the lessons it gave you, and then turning your face toward the sun of your future. My scars are my superpowers. By typing this, you are recoding your subconscious mind. You are telling every cell in your body that the period of simply surviving is over. The era of thriving and serving has begun. This is you, picking up your mission even with a limp, because a warrior with a limp who is on the battlefield is infinitely more powerful than a flawless warrior who never left the barracks. The antidote to this insidious trap is a radical paradigm shift in your understanding of healing. You must move from passive processing to embodied integration and purpose-driven healing. This means you stop treating healing as a prerequisite for living and start seeing living your purpose as the ultimate act of healing. True integration doesn't happen when you're sitting on a meditation cushion, thinking about your trauma. It happens when you are out in the world, taking action, and your old wound gets triggered, and this time you respond differently. It happens when you use the compassion you learned from your own suffering to help someone else, and in that act of service, a piece of your own heart is mended. Healing is not a mental exercise. It is an embodied experience. It is alchemized in the fire of action. You do not heal in order to start your business. You heal by starting your business, by facing the fears of failure and visibility that your past created, and choosing to act anyway. You do not heal in order to find love. You heal by learning to love. By opening your heart when it's scary, by setting boundaries, by communicating your needs, all of which can only be done in the dynamic laboratory of real relationships. So how do you begin this shift? First, you must place a sacred boundary around your pain. Acknowledge it, honor it, but do not let it be the uninvited guest that overstays its welcome every single day. You can implement a practice like the sacred sit-down. Give yourself a set amount of time each day, perhaps 15 minutes, no more, to consciously sit with any grief, anger, or fear that is coming up. Journal about it, cry, punch a pillow, feel it fully. But when that timer goes off, you stand up, you wash your face, and you declare, "Thank you for the information. Your scheduled time is over. Now it is time for my mission." You must be the sovereign ruler of your own inner kingdom. You decide how much airtime these old stories get. Secondly, and most importantly, you must shift your primary question. For months, or perhaps years, your primary question has been, what else in me needs to be healed? This question, while well-intentioned, will always yield more brokenness to fix. Today you are throwing that question into the fire. Your new primary question, the one you will ask yourself every single morning from this day forward, is, how can I be of service with the wisdom I have right now? This question changes everything. It reorients your entire energetic system from the past to the future, from self-focus to world focus, from wound to purpose. When you wake up and ask, how can I serve? The universe rushes in to meet you with opportunities. Your intuition gets sharper. Your creativity ignites. The pain from your past doesn't magically disappear, but it changes its role. It is no longer the main character in your story. It becomes the wise elder in the background, offering relevant advice when needed, but no longer hogging the spotlight. Your purpose, your dharma, becomes the gravitational force that pulls you forward with such momentum that the ghosts of your past simply cannot keep up. You heal on the move. You integrate on the fly. You become an alchemist in real time, turning the lead of your personal pain into the gold of collective wisdom. This is the true path of the wounded healer. It is active, it is dynamic, it is of service. It is not a never-ending therapy session. Do not let this final window of opportunity close while you are still convinced you are too broken to participate. Your perceived brokenness is the very key that will unlock your greatest power, but a key is useless until you decide to put it in a lock and turn it. Your mission is the lock, action is the turning. Now, as you begin to embody this new paradigm, as you shift your focus from endless healing to sacred service, you must prepare for the third trap. This one is perhaps the most intellectually seductive of all. It is a trap designed for the seekers, the learners, the ones who crave knowledge and understanding. It appears as the very path of wisdom itself, but it is a barren wasteland where nothing ever grows. It ensnares those who have successfully overcome the emotional paralysis of the second trap, only to lock them in a new, more sophisticated form of paralysis, a paralysis of the mind. It is a trap that allows you to feel spiritually superior, enlightened even, all while your actual life remains completely unchanged. It is the illusion that knowing the path is the same as walking it. The third spiritual trap is the trap of intellectual spirituality, disguised as wisdom. This is the trap of becoming a spiritual librarian instead of a spiritual warrior. It is the obsession with accumulating spiritual information, reading hundreds of books, listening to countless podcasts, memorizing astrological transits, learning the Sanskrit names for every yoga pose, and being able to debate the nuances of non-duality versus qualified non-duality. It is the pursuit of knowledge about God, about enlightenment, about ascension, without ever cultivating the direct embodied experience of it. The ego loves this trap because it can build a magnificent identity around being a spiritual person, without ever having to do the terrifying, messy work of actual spiritual transformation. Transformation requires vulnerability, surrender, and the death of the ego. Collecting information, on the other hand, only inflates the ego. It makes you feel like you've arrived because you can use the right jargon and quote the right gurus. You become a walking, talking encyclopedia of spiritual concepts. but your heart remains closed, your intuition remains muted, and your divine purpose remains a theoretical concept you read about in a book. You may be in this trap if you find yourself spending more time learning about meditation than actually meditating. You might be in it if you know all about the importance of shadow work, but actively avoid looking at your own shadow. You might be in it if you correct other people's spiritual terminology, or feel a sense of smugness because you understand a complex metaphysical concept that they don't. This is what is known as shelf-help, not self-help. You accumulate a vast library of wisdom on your shelves, but it never makes the 18-inch journey from your head to your heart. It remains unmetabolized data, and in the spiritual realms, unmetabolized knowledge is dead weight. It is energetically constipating. It clogs your channels and prevents the true living stream of divine wisdom from flowing through you. The universe is not looking for more commentators. It is looking for more conduits. It is looking for living, breathing examples of its truth, not people who can just talk a good game. The test of this final month is a test of embodiment. The cosmos is asking you, what are you going to do with all that you know? Are you going to build an ark? Or are you just going to keep collecting books on flood geology? If you recognize even a part of yourself in this description, do not despair. The first step is awareness. The second is a choice. A choice to move from the mind to the heart, from the theoretical to the tangible. I invite you now to anchor this choice. Go to the comments and declare, I am the living wisdom. This is your vow to become a vessel, not just a library. It is your commitment to embody the truths you have learned, to let them change you from the inside out, and to express them through your actions, not just your words. I am the living wisdom. Feel the shift as you type it. It's a shift from a noun to a verb. Wisdom is no longer something you have, it is something you are. The antidote to this trap is brutally simple, yet for the intellectual ego, it is the hardest thing in the world. Radical simplification and devotional practice. You must be willing to become a beginner again. You must be willing to put down the books and pick up a practice. Choose one thing, just one, not 10. One. Maybe it's a 5-minute daily meditation where you do nothing but follow your breath. Maybe it's a practice of gratitude where you write down 3 things you are thankful for each morning. Maybe it's a commitment to walk in nature for 10 minutes a day without your phone. The practice itself almost doesn't matter. What matters is the consistency, the devotion, and the intention to move out of the realm of thinking and into the realm of being. This simple, consistent practice will do more for your spiritual evolution than reading another 100 books, because in that silent devotional space, you are no longer learning about the divine. You are creating a space for the divine to speak directly to you. Furthermore, you must commit to applying what you learn immediately. If you read a chapter about forgiveness, don't just underline the passages. Go and forgive someone, even if it's just in your own heart. If you learn about a new communication technique for relationships, don't just store it away as interesting data. Go and have a difficult conversation using that technique. Make a rule for yourself. For every hour you spend consuming spiritual information, you must spend at least 1 hour in practice or application. This creates a healthy balance. It ensures that the knowledge you take in is immediately put to work, integrated into your being, and transformed into true, embodied wisdom. Otherwise, you are simply a spiritual glutton, feasting on information that your soul can never digest. The time for feasting is over. The time for building, creating, and serving is here. And you cannot build a new world with a mind full of concepts and hands that have never touched the earth. As you navigate these final crucial days, be wary of the siren song of the intellect. It promises you enlightenment through knowing, but true enlightenment only comes through being. If the trap of endless healing is a prison for the past, and the trap of intellectual spirituality is a prison for the mind, the fourth trap we will discuss is a prison for your heart, and it is disguised as the very thing your soul craves most: connection. It is the most subtle and heartbreaking trap of all, and it is waiting for you just around the corner. You are making it through the fire. Feel the significance of this moment. You have confronted the paralysis of passive waiting, dismantled the illusion of endless healing, and made the sacred vow to move beyond mere intellectualism into the realm of living, breathing wisdom. Each trap you navigate is not just a test passed, it is a layer of illusion shed, a level of sovereignty reclaimed. You are becoming lighter, clearer, more potent. But the journey through this final gateway is not yet complete. The path narrows further still, and the next trap is laid in a place of exquisite vulnerability, your heart. It is a trap that preys on the deepest, most human longing we all share, the desire to belong, to be seen, to connect with our tribe. This longing is pure, but it is also a powerful leverage point that can be used to divert you from your unique sovereign path and pull you into a comfortable, but ultimately stagnating, consensus reality. It is a trap that feels like coming home, but it is a home that will keep you from ever reaching your true destination. The fourth spiritual trap, the one that ensnares so many awakened souls just before their greatest breakthrough, is the trap of the spiritual echo chamber, disguised as community. As you awaken, the world can feel like a lonely place. Your old friends and family may not understand the changes you are going to, the new language you speak, the new reality you perceive. So when you finally find a group of people, whether online or in person, who get it, the feeling is one of profound relief and intoxicating validation. You found your soul family, your tribe. You are no longer the odd one out. Here people speak your language. They understand chakras, twin flames, and the 5D shift. They validate your experiences with the paranormal. They nod in agreement with your metaphysical insights. It feels like a safe harbor in a chaotic world, and in the beginning, it often is. This initial connection can be a vital and beautiful stage of awakening, a necessary stepping stone. The trap is not the community itself. The trap is when the community ceases to be a launch pad and becomes a cage. This happens when the group's collective identity becomes more important than your individual truth. It happens when the shared beliefs of the group become a new form of dogma, a new religion with its own set of unwritten rules, gurus and heresies. You may find that in order to remain a member in good standing, you must subscribe to every single belief held by the group. If the group's leader is focused on Pleiadian channelings, then any talk of Arcturians might be subtly dismissed. If the group believes in a specific dietary protocol for ascension, you might feel judgment for eating the wrong foods. The open field of infinite spiritual discovery slowly shrinks into a small, well-manicured garden of acceptable ideas. The very validation you once craved now becomes a subtle form of control. You start to unconsciously filter your own intuition. You ask yourself, what would the group think of this? Before you ask, what is my soul's true knowing on this? Your unique divine connection, the very thing that makes you a chosen one, is slowly outsourced to the collective consensus. You trade your spiritual sovereignty for the comfort of belonging. This echo chamber becomes particularly dangerous because it insulates you from growth. True growth happens at the edge of your comfort zone, when your beliefs are challenged, forcing you to go deeper and find a more integrated truth. But in the echo chamber, your beliefs are never challenged. They are only ever reinforced. Every conversation, every post, every shared video confirms what you already know. It creates a feedback loop of self-congratulation that feels wonderful to the ego, but is poison to the soul. It stunts your evolution. You stop being a seeker and become a settler. You are no longer climbing the mountain of truth. You are sitting in a comfortable chalet halfway up, admiring the view with a group of people who all agree that this is as high as anyone needs to go. This is a catastrophic diversion from your mission. Your mission is unique to you. It is a specific frequency that only you can broadcast into the world. But to find and stabilize that frequency, you must be willing to stand in silence, to be alone with your own soul, to follow the strange and winding path of your own intuition, even if it leads you away from the cheering crowd. This trap convinces you that the crowd's validation is the signal you're on the right path, when often for a true leader like yourself, the deafening silence of walking your own way is the only confirmation you need. Before this month ends, you must assess your spiritual connections with radical honesty. Are your communities empowering your sovereign truth, or are they subtly demanding your conformity? Are they encouraging you to fly higher, Or are they asking you to clip your wings so you can all fit comfortably in the same nest? If you are ready to honor your unique path, even if it means walking it alone for a time, I want you to go to the comments now and make this powerful declaration of independence. I am my own North Star. This is your vow to navigate by the light of your own soul's compass. It is a statement that you will honor the sacred connection within you above all external validation. It is not a rejection of community, but a refusal to be defined by it. It is you, claiming your role as a leader, a trailblazer, a wayshower. Leaders do not follow the consensus, they create it. I am my own North Star. The antidote to this trap is not to become a recluse, but to cultivate discerning connection and radical self-loyalty. It means you learn to engage with spiritual communities as a sovereign being, not as a supplicant. You learn to take what resonates and leave the rest without apology. You can love and honor the people in your group while simultaneously disagreeing with their conclusions. This requires a level of inner security that the echo chamber is designed to erode. You must be more committed to your own truth than you are to being liked or accepted. This is a profound test of self-love. Can you love and approve of yourself, even if your entire soul group thinks you're wrong? If you can, you have passed a major initiation. You have proven to the universe that you are a stable enough vessel to receive direct, unfiltered divine guidance. The universe cannot entrust its most unique and radical blueprints for the new earth to someone who will immediately water them down to fit the group consensus. It needs pioneers who are willing to sound a little crazy, to stand apart, to hold a vision that no one else can yet see. To put this into practice, I challenge you to a fast from validation. For the next 7 days, make a conscious effort not to seek external agreement for your spiritual insights. When you have a profound realization, instead of immediately posting about it or calling a friend to see if they feel it too, just sit with it. Let it marinate in your own being. Let it become a part of you without the need for an external co-signer. Furthermore, deliberately expose yourself to spiritual perspectives that challenge your own. If you are deeply into one particular channeler, listen to a teacher from a completely different tradition. Do not do this to be converted, but to strengthen your own powers of discernment. Notice what triggers you. Notice what resonates. Notice what forces you to refine your own understanding. This is how you build spiritual muscle. The echo chamber provides a comfortable, climate-controlled gym where you only ever lift the same light weights. This practice sends you out into the wilderness to climb a real mountain. It is harder, but it is the only way to become truly strong. Your soul did not come here for comfort. It came here for expansion. And the greatest expansion happens just beyond the cozy confines of what you and your friends already believe. As you master the art of discerning connection, you prepare yourself for the fifth challenge, which moves from the social sphere to the very core of your energetic being. This trap is perhaps the most fundamental of all, because it deals with the currency of the universe itself, your energy, your life force. It is a subtle but constant drain on your power, a leak in your spiritual foundation that, if left unpatched, will make it impossible to build anything of lasting value. It is a trap that is celebrated by the Matrix as a virtue, a sign of being a good person, but from a spiritual perspective, it is an act of profound self-abandonment and a direct betrayal of your divine mission. It is the belief that your divinity is measured by how much of yourself you can give away. The fifth spiritual trap is the trap of undiscerning empathy, disguised as compassion. As an awakened soul, you are naturally empathic. You feel things deeply. You feel the pain of others, the suffering of the planet, the collective anxiety. This is a gift. It is the source of your compassion and your drive to be of service. But like any powerful gift, if it is not wielded with consciousness and strong boundaries, it will destroy you. This trap convinces you that to be a spiritual person, you must keep your heart wide open to everyone and everything, all the time. It tells you that it is selfish to protect your energy, that you must be an endless fountain of light and healing for anyone who asks, or even for those who don't. It confuses compassion with enmeshment, and empathy with energetic absorption. Under the spell of this trap, you become a psychic dumping ground for the unprocessed pain of the world. Your friends call you to vent for hours, and you listen, absorbing their negativity. You watch the news and take on the full weight of global tragedies. You walk into a room and your energy field acts like a sponge for everyone else's anxiety and anger. You believe you are being compassionate, but in reality you are being irresponsible. Think of it this way. If you were a surgeon, would it be compassionate to go into the operating room without gloves and a mask, allowing yourself to be infected by whatever the patient was carrying? Of course not. It would be reckless. It would not only endanger you, but it would render you incapable of helping any other patients. Your energetic hygiene is no different. As a chosen one, your primary responsibility is to maintain the clarity, strength, and purity of your own energetic field. This is not selfish. It is the prerequisite for your service. Your unique frequency is your gift to the world. But if that frequency is constantly being distorted and polluted by the energetic static of others, you have nothing of value to offer. You cannot transmit a clear signal if you are full of noise. This trap convinces you that your holiness is measured by your willingness to drown with others. But true compassion is not about drowning with someone. It is about standing firmly on the shore, holding your light high like a lighthouse, and showing them the way back to their own strength. You cannot do that if you are in the chaotic waters with them. The Matrix loves undiscerning empaths. It feeds on your life force. It keeps you drained, exhausted, and overwhelmed, ensuring you never have enough surplus energy to challenge the status quo or build a new reality. It bestows upon you the hollow identity of the martyr, the selfless giver, the one who is always there for everyone. But these are roles in a prison play. True spiritual service comes from overflow, not from depletion. It is the radiant light that pours out of a cup that is already full. This trap tricks you into pouring from an empty cup and then shames you for feeling empty. It is a vicious cycle of self-abandonment disguised as the highest spiritual calling. The energetic upgrades available this month require a strong, stable, and sovereign energetic container. You cannot download the new 5D light codes if your system is riddled with energetic leaks and attachments. The universe needs you to become a sealed vessel, a chalice capable of holding the potent wine of divine grace without spilling a single drop. If you are ready to reclaim your life force, to graduate from being a psychic sponge to becoming an energetic lighthouse, I want you to anchor this decision right now. Go to the comments and type this declaration of energetic sovereignty. My energy is my sacred temple. This is a powerful command to your own subconscious and to the universe. It declares that your energetic field is no longer public property. Access is granted by invitation only. It is a sacred space to be honored, protected, and revered. My energy is my sacred temple. As you type this, visualize a luminous shield of golden light forming around you, impermeable to all that is not of the highest love and light. This is you reclaiming your power, not as an act of aggression, but as an act of profound self-love and sacred responsibility. The antidote to this trap is the cultivation of compassionate detachment and impeccable energetic boundaries. This is an art form. It is the ability to say, I see your pain, I honor your journey, and I hold you in my heart, but I will not carry your pain for you. It is the wisdom to know the difference between what is yours and what is not yours. Compassionate detachment is not cold or uncaring. It is the highest form of respect. It respects the other person's journey and their innate capacity to find their own solutions. When you rush in to fix or save someone, you are subtly communicating that you don't believe they are powerful enough to save themselves. This is disempowering for them and draining for you. The most compassionate act is often to simply hold a space of unwavering belief in someone's own strength and resilience, while you maintain the integrity of your own energy. This is how you empower, rather than enable. Practically, this means learning to say no without guilt. It means limiting your exposure to low-frequency media. It means consciously clearing your energy field at the end of each day through practices like smudging, salt baths, or visualization. It means choosing with fierce discernment who you allow into your inner circle. It is not your job to be a savior to everyone. It is your job to be a steward of the divine light that flows through you. And that requires you to be a vigilant guardian at the gates of your own temple. As you begin to implement these boundaries, you may be met with resistance. Those who were used to feeding on your energy will accuse you of being selfish or cold. They will try to guilt you back into the old dynamic. See this for what it is: a test. It is the universe asking you, are you truly loyal to your mission, or are you still a hostage to the approval of others? Your ability to hold your boundaries with love but with firmness is a critical initiation. Every time you do so, you reclaim a piece of your power. You will find that as you stop leaking energy, your vitality soars. Your intuition becomes crystal clear. Your creative ideas flow. You finally have the surplus energy required to build your dreams. This is the foundation upon which your entire mission is built. Without it, everything else will crumble. You have just a short time left to patch these leaks and fortify your temple before the final cosmic waves arrive. The choice, as always, is yours. Chosen one, breathe. Take a deep conscious breath and acknowledge how far you have journeyed in this short time. You have stared into the abyss of your own complacency, your unprocessed pain, your intellectual pride, your need for belonging, and your energetic leaks. You have faced 5 of the great spiritual illusions of our time, and you are still standing, armed with new awareness and sacred declarations. You are not the same person who started this video. The frequency of your being has already shifted, recalibrated by the potent truths you have integrated. You have done the work that millions will spend years, even lifetimes, attempting to grasp. But the initiation is not yet complete. We are now approaching the final 2 traps, the capstone challenges that stand between you and the full embodiment of your divine mission. These last 2 are the most subtle, for they operate not in the realm of action or emotion, but in the ethereal planes of perception and faith. They are the final veils of illusion that must be torn away before you can step through September's closing gate, fully sovereign and ready for what is to come. The 6th spiritual trap is a masterwork of cosmic misdirection. It is a trap that preys on your innate desire for a better world and your ability to visualize it, but it twists this divine gift into a mechanism for profound disempowerment. It keeps you high on the frequency of hope, while your actual tangible reality remains stuck in a loop of lack and limitation. It is the spiritual equivalent of staring at a travel brochure for a paradise you never actually visit. This trap is the trap of focusing only on the future ascension, disguised as visionary faith. This is the pitfall of 5D bypassing. It is the practice of using the beautiful, inspiring concepts of a future golden age, a new earth, and a mass human ascension event as a way to avoid, reject, and spiritually bypass the messy, challenging, and often painful reality of your present 3D existence. You spend your days dreaming of a future where all is love and light, where money doesn't exist, where everyone is telepathic and living in harmony. This vision is real. It is our collective destiny. But this trap convinces you that your only job is to hold that vision in your mind, to anchor the light from your meditation cushion, while completely neglecting the practical foundational work required in your life right now. You may be in this trap if you find yourself saying things like, "None of this matters anyway, we're all ascending soon," as a justification for not paying your bills, cleaning your house, or healing your relationships. You might be in it if you feel a sense of spiritual superiority over those still stuck in the 3D matrix, while your own 3D life is in a state of chaos. This trap creates a dangerous schism between your spiritual self and your human self. It treats your humanity, your body, your finances, your career, your earthly responsibilities as a temporary inconvenience to be tolerated, rather than the sacred vessel and training ground for your soul's evolution. It is an act of profound spiritual arrogance. You are telling the divine, "Thank you for this incredible gift of a human life, but I'm not really interested in playing this game. I'm just going to sit on the sidelines and wait for the next better game to start." This is a catastrophic misunderstanding of the rules of incarnation. You cannot graduate to the 5th dimension until you have mastered the lessons of the 3rd. You cannot build a new world until you have learned to be a master of this one. The universe is not looking for spiritual escapists. It is looking for grounded grid workers, souls who are capable of taking the high-frequency light codes of the 5D reality and physically anchoring them into the dense reality of Earth. This requires you to be a master of both realms. It requires you to be able to meditate on cosmic consciousness in the morning, and then create a balanced budget in the afternoon. It requires you to be able to channel divine wisdom, and then use that wisdom to build a tangible business, create a healthy family, or organize a community project. Ascension is not an escape hatch, it is a construction project, and we are the construction crew. To spend all your time looking at the architectural renderings of the beautiful future city while neglecting to lay a single brick in the foundation today is a betrayal of your role. The new earth will not descend from the heavens and magically replace the old one. It must be built from the ground up by us. And it is built through our mastery of the so-called mundane, our health, our wealth, our relationships, our homes. These are not 3D distractions, they are the very altars upon which we build the 5D reality. If you recognize that you have been using the promise of the future to escape the demands of the present, now is the moment to choose again. Now is the moment to fully embrace your human incarnation as the sacred assignment it is. Go to the comments and anchor this profound commitment to embodiment. I am heaven on earth. This declaration collapses the duality between the spiritual and the material. It affirms that you are not here to wait for heaven, but to create it, right here, right now, in your body, in your home, in your life. It is a vow to become a living bridge between the dimensions, a conduit through which the highest frequencies can pour into and transform the material plane. I am heaven on earth. Feel the power of this. It is a statement of ultimate responsibility and ultimate power. The antidote to this trap is to become a practitioner of sacred practicality and embodied mastery. This means you begin to view every aspect of your 3D life as a spiritual practice. Your finances are not a burden. They are a practice in mastering the flow of universal abundance. Your physical body is not a dense prison. It is a sacred temple and a biofeedback system for your consciousness. Your career is not a soulless grind. It is an opportunity to anchor your divine purpose into the world and be of service. When you adopt this perspective, everything changes. Making a healthy meal becomes an act of holy communion. Organizing your files becomes an act of creating divine order. Paying your taxes becomes an act of conscious participation in the collective. You stop resisting your life and start infusing it with your light. You stop waiting for the world to change, and you start becoming the change in your corner of the world. For the remainder of this month, I challenge you to pick one area of your 3D life that you have been neglecting, be it your health, your finances, or your living space, and pour your conscious, loving attention into it. Bring order to it. Bring beauty to it. Bring presence to it. This act of mastering your immediate environment sends a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready for greater responsibility. You are proving that you are a trustworthy anchor point for the new earth. And the universe will respond by giving you more to anchor, more to build, more to create. And this brings us finally to the seventh and final trap. It is the most invisible of all, because it is not a thing you do but a thing you fail to do. It is a sin of omission, a silent, creeping trap that can nullify all the progress you have made. You can overcome all 6 previous traps. You can be taking action, integrating your healing, embodying wisdom, walking your own path, holding strong boundaries, and mastering your 3D reality, and still fail at this final hurdle, and in doing so, miss the entire point of your incarnation. This trap is born from a twisted sense of humility, a final vestige of the old paradigm of unworthiness that tells you to play small, even after you have done all the work to become great. The 7th and final spiritual trap is the trap of hiding your light, disguised as humility. After all this work, after all the initiations and awakenings, you finally become the lighthouse we spoke of earlier. Your energy is clear, your wisdom is embodied, your light is shining brightly, and then, you put a giant lampshade over it. You do the work, but you refuse to be seen doing it. You have the answers, but you remain silent in the meeting. You create the masterpiece, but you hide it in your closet. You solve the problem, but you let someone else take the credit. You do this because of a deep subconscious programming that says, it is not safe to be powerful. If I shine too brightly, I will be a target. Or true spirituality is meek and humble. This is the final and most tragic lie. This is the good person programming on steroids. It is the belief that your purpose is a private, personal journey, and that to publicly claim your power, to celebrate your gifts, to allow yourself to be seen in your full magnificence, is an act of ego. But this is not humility. It is fear, masquerading as piety. It is the ultimate act of spiritual selfishness. Your light was not given to you for your own private enjoyment. It was given to you as a gift to be shared with the world. You are a lamp that was designed to be placed on a stand, not hidden under a bushel. To hide your light in these final critical moments is to fail your mission completely. It is to look at a world drowning in darkness and say, I have a floodlight, but I don't want to turn it on because it might bother someone, or they might think I'm arrogant for having such a bright light. Can you see the absurdity? Can you see the profound irresponsibility of this stance? The universe has spent your entire lifetime, and many lifetimes before, forging you into the unique, powerful, luminous being you are today. It has given you a specific set of gifts, a unique medicine that is desperately needed by a specific segment of humanity. To refuse to share that medicine, because you are afraid of being seen, is to tell the divine, your investment in me was a waste. True humility is not thinking less of yourself, it is thinking of yourself less. It is getting your ego's fears about visibility and judgment out of the way, so that the divine light can use you as a clear and unobstructed channel of service. This is the final test of this era. It is a test of courage. Not the courage to face your demons, but the courage to face your own light. Not the courage to go into the cave, but the courage to finally come out of it and stand on the mountaintop, proclaiming the truth that you have found. This is your final chance before the gate closes. The world is waiting. Your soul family, the real one, the ones you are here to serve, are waiting. They are lost in the dark, praying for a light. Your light, and you are standing there, hiding it. It is time to make the final choice. It is time to choose service over safety. It is time to choose purpose over popularity. It is time to choose your divinity over your fear. There is only one declaration left to make. It is the culmination of all the others. It is the ultimate statement of intent. If you are ready to finally fulfill the sacred contract of your soul, to let your light shine, no matter the consequences, no matter who it triggers, no matter how scary it feels, then go to the comments for the last time and write these words with every ounce of your being. I am the light, and I am ready to shine. This is it. This is the final activation. This is you, accepting your divine assignment, fully and without reservation. This is you, giving the universe your final resounding yes. I am the light, and I am ready to shine. The antidote is simple, but it requires radical courage, visible, unapologetic service. This means you must start, today, to take one small visible action to share your gifts. If you are a writer, publish one paragraph on social media. If you are a healer, offer a free mini session to one person. If you are an artist, share a photo of your work. If you have wisdom, record a 1-minute video sharing one piece of it. It does not have to be perfect. It just has to be visible. You must break the pattern of invisibility. With every small act of visible service, you dismantle the fear. You build your courage muscle. You signal to the universe that you are no longer hiding, and the universe, seeing your readiness, will begin to open doors for you that you could not have even imagined. It will bring you the platforms, the people, the resources, because you have finally proven that you are willing to be a conduit for its light in the world. So here we are, at the end of this journey, and at the precipice of a new beginning. 7 traps, 7 antidotes, 7 declarations. You have been given the map. You have been shown the way through the final minefield. The gate is still open, but the sun is setting on this chapter of human history. There are no more second chances after this. The timelines are splitting definitively. You now have everything you need to choose your path. Will you fall back into the subtle illusions of waiting, of endless healing, of intellectual pride, of the echo chamber, of the selfless martyr, of the spiritual escapist, of the humble hider? Or will you choose to be the action, to wield your scars as superpowers, to be the living wisdom, to be your own North Star, to honor your sacred temple, to be heaven on earth, and to finally, let your light shine? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. This was not a warning, it was an activation. This was not a message of fear, it was a call to greatness. If this message has reached you, it is because your soul knows you are ready. Do not let it down. The future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create. Go now and create. And if you are committed to this path, if you are one of the ones who will walk through this gate with me, subscribe and share this message with one other soul you know is ready. We are gathering. The time is now. We are the ones we've been waiting for.